Hello Physical Fiends, it's Jordan here again with some recently announced physical releases. Kinda recent, I suppose. It's been a long good while since I made one of these videos. Not really the season for brand new physical announcements, but there are a few to take a look at. The Messenger is the big one because yes, the Messenger is getting a new physical release with the DLC included on the cartridge. Now at the time of making this video, it's been announced for release in Spain early next year. There has been no mention of a wider release, especially in North America, but I do think it's entirely possible that we will get more information at a later date. Normally I wouldn't talk about it now until information was more crystal clear, but I'd rather let you know in case you were feeling close to paying like $200 for the limited run release on eBay. Don't, just wait for this. Lisa Definitive Edition is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 in Europe next year. This has been rumored and speculated about for a good while, and now this release will make it so that the game is no longer an import exclusive, because it's been out in Japan for quite a while, and some of you may have it in your collection already. But if you don't, this European release will come in a standard and collector's edition, which includes all of that stuff that's on your screen right now. And if you want to pre-order it or any of the retail games in this episode, please consider using the links in the description and pinned comment. That massively helps me out. You can order from VGP with any of the links, and it helps me out so much. They're a great company with free worldwide shipping on orders over 80 Canadian bucks, and I really do appreciate it ever so much. Bubble Ghost Remake is a hot off the press announcement based on the Game Boy version from 1990. It's a cutesy action game where you are a ghost blowing bubbles. Supposedly quite a hidden gem or cult classic on the system. I had never heard of it prior to this announcement, but it looks rather cool from the short amount of footage we can see in the trailer. There's going to be a standard Switch edition in both North America and Europe, but Europe is also getting a collector's edition that comes with a bunch of cute stuff, but specifically the good thing is a soundtrack CD, and hopefully VGP will be carrying copies of this as well if you want it. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 was always a known quantity, but pre-orders recently opened for this one, at least in North America. Capcom hates Europe, especially when it comes to the Switch, so it's more than likely needing to be imported if you want a Switch physical there. There are now a lot of these kind of collections, and I know it's been quite confusing for some, but this is a new one, okay? Even newer than the Marvel vs. Capcom one. What's great about this pre-order is that it comes with a mini comic created brand new for this release and features both Capcom and SNK characters, so yeah, get your pre-order in. This package contains 8 games in total, and as far as I know, most of them are completely badass if you're into fighting games. Project Justice, hell yes! Power Stone 2. Okay, I believe it's based on the arcade version, which means no item mixing shop, which was the best thing about the game, in my opinion, on the Dreamcast. But hey, the gameplay is chaotic fun, and I'm glad to see Capcom tapping into their back catalogue, and I'm personally hoping for a Ghouls and Ghosts complete collection one day. Come on Capcom, make a guy happy. Star Overdrive recently got its release date reveal, which meant that the physical was also announced as well. Now as far as I know, it's a European physical coming in April next year on Nintendo Switch, and this kind of looks like an indie sci-fi Breath of the Wild. It has similar mechanics, except instead of riding Epona, you have a hoverboard, and it looks really nice to be fair. Hopefully more information about the physical release comes later on, and hopefully an ESRB release comes as well for you North Americans. Shadow Labyrinth Secret Edition was a surprise announcement at the Game Awards, one of the few Switch games shown on offer, from what I heard. I didn't watch it to be honest, Jeff Keighley makes me want to vomit. I just checked the list of the announcements, and this looked like the most eye-catching one for the Switch. This is a darkly edgelord twist on the Pac-Man franchise, where he's become an all-consuming monster, pretty much Kirby, but less murderous than Kirby. It actually looks really good, and it's getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 sometime next year. It's coming in a standard edition as well as the secret edition, which I mentioned as well. I'm not one to tell people secrets, but it's my job here, and so with that you get the digital soundtrack, an art book, pin set, double-sided poster, keychain, and sticker sheets. Umurangi Generation is a pretty cool upcoming physical release on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5. It looks to be only coming in a collector's edition, which sucks in my opinion, because, you know, I do like the cheaper option of a standard edition for those people who don't have space for collector's editions. I have no space, guys. But yeah, it's a really snazzy, cool photography game. I played it for a little bit, like a long time ago, and this collector's edition comes with a camera strap, character cards, acrylic standee, cloth, and bounty card. Hardly enough to jack up the price for a collector's edition, but it is what it is, and it's releasing in May next year. The 100 line Last Defense Academy looks to be only getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch, releasing in April next year. This is a game from the minds of those who made Danganronpa and the Zero Escape series, which means you need to expect some messed up stuff. There are supposedly 100 different endings in this one, and it's a tactical RPG, at least from the footage that I've seen. This is looking to be one of the most exciting titles of next year. It's coming in a standard edition, as well as a limited edition, which comes with a lenticular art card, 3D acrylic diorama, pen, full color art book, a short novel, character cards, and a soundtrack CD. Now that is a collector's edition. It's pretty pricey though. Flint, Treasures of Oblivion, recently released on PlayStation 5, but it looks to be coming to the Nintendo Switch sometime as well, when, I don't know, there's just a placeholder for this year. It's a turn-based RPG with pirates. It looks really cool actually, but I'm not sure if it'll have the polish needed on the Nintendo Switch, but it's one to keep an eye on, especially if you've got an eye patch. You can keep that one eye on it, right? Spirit Mancer is getting a physical release in Europe sometime this year on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5. A side-scrolling hack and slash with the... yeah, it's got deck building, of course! It's coming in a standard and collector's edition, which VGP will be carrying copies of if you live in North America and you want it. It looks nice and colourful, you gotta admit that. Neon Apex Beyond the Limit has been announced for a physical release on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 for sure in Europe, not sure about North America, but the game was literally just announced, so give it a bit of time to breathe, you know, for the information to come out. Looks like a pretty fun, high-octane racing game, very fast and stylish. Alright, let's jump into some import announcements. Links below for these are for Play Asia, and if you click the link, you can also get 5% off with my code, Jordan24. That's gonna run out very soon, so make the most of it. Kemco RPG Selection Volume 9 finally got announced for the Nintendo Switch. I'm glad we're not in limbo anymore. This contains As Divine Saga, Ghost Sync, Sword of Elpisia. Elpisia. I went there in Spain one time on a stag do. It was great. I love Elpisia. And also Ambition Record. This time it's sporting a young green, perfect for the upcoming spring season. Now, Kemco Volume 1 is actually getting a physical release in North America. I'm not sure why I didn't mention it in the main part of this video. Well, I'm mentioning it now. It's kind of crazy, so there is a chance this will eventually make it to North America too, but I think that would require the previous 8 being a success, which I'm not sure they will, but we'll have to see. From Madness with Love is releasing on Nintendo Switch in Japan in May, and it will have English. This is a visual novel adventure-style dating sim with an interesting art style. I think it's technically an otome as well, so that'll be another one to add to the list, but at least this one will be a bit more unique compared to all the other otome imports. At least I hope so. Progress Orders is a very cheap RPG coming to Japan on Nintendo Switch in April with English. Play Asia have the pre-order at $22 US, which is really cheap, and I have no idea why. Maybe it's short and simple, but the trailer looks like it has a lot going on, so we'll have to see. I'm definitely intrigued by it. Ghostpia Season 1 is a visual novel, yes, another one in Japan, with English. This is supposed to be a very lovely one with a distinct visual style. Reviews are very high for this, and I think being called Season 1 may not do it many favors, because I think if you see that, many people will start to think, oh, I'll wait till the story is complete or whatever. But supposedly, it's around 10 hours long, so that is still a nice chunk of content for a visual novel. Ever 17/Never 7 double pack. Oh look, another visual novel. Or should I say visual novels, because it is a double pack. The first of which is very highly regarded as a VN, while Never 7 is supposed to be a bit of a disappointment, so you're getting best of both worlds. or best and worst of both worlds. They are in the same series. This Asian release definitely has English. The Japanese release is currently uncertain. It's releasing in March next year. The Escape Room Chronicles is finally another simple series release. It's been a while since the last one. This contains 4 games in one, and it's obviously a cheap release, only $22 to pre-order. Do not expect anything mind-blowing, but I'm sure it's a decent enough time killer in between your massive JRPGs. This is releasing on Nintendo Switch in February, and it will have English. And there we have just a few new physical announcements. Let me know which one has taken your fancy, and if you want to pre-order any of them, please use the links down below. That massively helps support me, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Have a fantastic day, guys. Take care.